thank my God upon every remembrance of always in every prayer of mine, for you all making requests with joy. For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Even as it is meet for me to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart, in as much as both in my bonds and in the defiance and confirmation of the gospel. Ye all are partakers of my grace.
Okay, all right. So let's get a little background, just real quick. So we know what we're dealing with Paul. Paul started writing letters in different chapters of the Bible. In 1st and 2nd Corinthians, he was very critical of how the church was being ran. He went to Romans and still he was critical of their ways and doctrines of what they was teaching. He gets to Galatians and he's saying, who bewitched you and told y'all that y'all had to be Jews first before you could be Christians. But any real person that said I follow Jesus understood Jesus went to the Christ for the Jews, Gentiles, Romans, me, you, and them 2,000 years ago. So it's not that you had to be conformed to a whole different nationality. You just had to be a follower of Jesus Christ. He said, who bewitched you? And a lot of times, brothers and sisters, we got bewitched, tricked, ran them up. What else Malcolm X said? Taking a foot. We would have been tricked so long from things that don't really make any sense that we don't even dig to see why they don't make any sense no more. We go things that ain't even in the Bible. But we say them so much, we take them as law. What Grandma said, God do for those that do for them. Show that to me in the Bible. When I just told you Jesus went to the cross for everybody. God sent Jesus down for everybody. So how does that work that he's only doing it for those that do for themselves? When there was a whole city in Nineveh that God sent Noah to, and he said, I need you to go and save those because they don't know their right hand from their left hand. They didn't know right from wrong, but God sent them to teach them the way. So how is it that God only does for those that do for themselves? We learned in Vacation Bible School that Jesus is the light. Jesus is the light. And in order to have light, it has to be a darkness there to drive the darkness out. And if we get into the fold of Jesus, we automatically award certain rights and privileges. But if we don't tap into it, we don't know. If we don't read and see what privileges come with following Jesus Christ, we ain't gonna know. I told us again, one of the most, I say, missed piece of the crucifixion of Jesus, as he was on that cross, getting ready to die. When you come into the fold of Jesus, you're awarded how many angels? What I do have, despite what I don't have. We gotta understand about counting on with joy. I can tell you, when you can get down on your knees and pray from now until the time you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, $1 million are gonna pop up in your bank account. But you still got enough of something. You still got enough to keep functioning. But sometimes that just ain't enough for us. Brothers and sisters, what we got to understand? Paul says, I've been where y'all been. A lot of times we forget, Paul came to them not as an apostle. He came to them as a servant. He came to them showing I'm coming as a servant to Jesus. I'm coming to show that Jesus has done a great work in my life, and if you follow Jesus, he can do the same for you. You understand? Before Paul was Saul. Christian killer. Hunter, if you may. Chopping heads off. Let me tell y'all something. Who Paul was, ain't forget who Saul was. He ain't forget how to pick up a sword. He ain't forget how to swing that sword. Just like us. Once we say we follow Jesus, we don't forget who we was before. Just because we say we over here. Once you get saved, that don't make you perfect. What that means is God has grabbed you by your collar and got you from here and moved you over there and set you aside. And he says, as long as you follow me, as long as you believe in my son, Jesus Christ, he is the light, and I know sometimes the path will get dark. But if you follow Jesus, you will always be within my fold. And a lot of times we think we get so far out of God's fold that he can't do nothing with us no more. You're still here. As long as you got fire, that's follow me. A lot of times you look at God because life is to be with that. Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody got a plan till you hit them out. Everybody got a plan till you hit them out. You got a plan to get out of debt till you pay. Roof collapse. Now, the money that you did say, you got to buy a roof. Well, I got a plan to buy a new car. Baby needs new shoes. It's always something. It's always something, and I'm just going to tell you on the front end, it's always going to be something. But as long as you trust and follow God, he will make the way. Where 3 is? Let's start at 3. I'm going to start you off and I tell you what we do.
I thank my God upon every remembrance of you. Always in every prayer of mine, for you all making requests with joy. For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now. Being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ.
Hold right there. See, everything we do is a building block. We started out in March talking about what does it mean to be a disciple. When we talked about apostle, what does it mean to be a servant? What does it mean to be a follower? And once we get down pat, we move to who it is that we follow. God can't do a good work in us. He can't create peace within us. He can't create all these things within us until we get the basics down. And a lot of times, we got to understand. I don't ask y'all to write down much, but you might want to write this down. This might be important. Y'all ready? Y'all write and type how you want to. A faith that fills in the beginning, or much of a faith in you. Okay, let me. The more hands on participating you gotta do. We can't sit on the sideline. We ain't gonna change niggas sitting on the sideline. See that? And I say it again. Smaller the church, more participating you gotta do. You might well be your hat size, whoever the secretary is, I guarantee you, until we get 300 folks, you might wear a lot.
Oh yeah.
714, but I don't know. That's not my shit. Anyway, don't be surprised. Whatever it is God has you to do,
Do it with love.
count it all as joy. If whatever it is, it's your time, your talent, your need, he said, do it joyfully. God says, I can't create you at this point in your life if you're still remembering the BC part of your life.
Man.
He said, once you get saved, it's okay. I ain't asking you to be perfect, but I'm asking you to follow that path. And I'm still on that path. Case in point. We got to create a solid foundation. In Matthew, they gave us an example. What happens when you build your house on sand? Oh, it's a beautiful house. Dream house. Had all the new amenities, everything you wanted in that house. But as soon as the rain came, soon as the floods came, the house was destroyed and washed away. And a lot of us is washed out where our faith is. It's on a sandy place. We ain't got no foundation to believe that God has brought me from here to here because mentally I'm still here. But God says, I see a change. God says it's going to be a change. Ain't overnight thing. God was working in Paul way before the conversion. If you didn't know, Paul grew up in the church. He grew up in the church until he saw one of the disciples getting beheaded publicly. He said, "You better be behind the sword than in front of it." But the church is always involved. God says, "I'm just bringing it back to you." Just like a lot of us say, "Your grandma took us to church." I hold it out. God got to choke up for years. I'm just gonna be honest. Can you stand up here and do this? But everybody ain't never put it. One of my biggest things when I was working at Pittsburgh, my supervisor said one time that I used to have to host a meeting. And he said, "Yeah, I taught you how to do that." No, you did not, sir. I said, "You tried being 22 years old, Sunday school superintendent, and having to preach a message on marriage, and you ain't got no intention on being married. They'll teach you real fast how to get up and talk. You learn real fast how to get up and talk." God already created a new world in us. And he says, as long as you understand that I am God, be confident that I am with you from the beginning, and I'm going to be with you until the day that Jesus Christ comes back. But if we get to build that house on sand, and as soon as something goes on, Jesus don't love me. Jesus don't forget about me. Look, my neighbor, man, he don't even work. He got a brand new car. They got brand new work. Here I am working 7 hours a week. Why I can't get no car?
God ain't right, mine ain't right.
Being confident in this very thing, that he has just done a good work in us. That good work is going to be in us until Jesus Christ. Therefore, he said, I understand where I was, but I also understand who brought me from there. I understand how I used to be, but I also understand who has changed me. I understand where I'm at currently, but I understand where I can go as long as I follow the Lord. Build our hopes and faith on something solid. That's why we started for 3 months on figuring out what it is we're supposed to be doing around here. That's what the first 3 months was about. Figuring out what it is we're supposed to be doing around here. And once we figured that out, we figured out and then as long should keep that joy in us. Nobody can put the joy in us. That's something in you. Go back to Job. Job's whole family was destroyed in verse 1. All the keys died. The business crumbled. The house gone. The animals gone. But he said, no. Despite what's going on, I still got God. Despite what's going on, the Lord gave me them 10 keys. The Lord gave me that business. The Lord gave me them arrows. And if he gave it to me, he'll give it to me. I'm not faltering on God. And when God do for his obedience and his faithfulness, bless him two folds over. He got kids back. He got a bigger house. There wasn't no insurance back then, y'all. So it wasn't nowhere. I would have got that much insurance. There wasn't no insurance back then. He got a bigger house. He got more animals. Because he stayed with God. All we got to do is understand that God has created us. God has created us a way of joy, a way for all we got to do is faithful. Be faithful to God. I say again, it's not going to always look good. It ain't going to always sound good. It ain't going to always feel good. But if you trust God, all we got to do is trust God. That God will deliver. Verse 7. What verse 7? Verse 7.
Even as it is meet for me to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart, inasmuch as both in my bonds and in the defiance and confirmation of the gospel, ye all are partakers of my grace.
Can you read that middle part one more time from the start of the inasmuch? Can you start the one more time to read it from?
Inasmuch
There you go. Look at that.
as both in my bonds and in the defiance and confirmation of the gospel, ye all are partakers